Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is F-ZERO X on the N64. Here's a lovely comic book panel for the intro. Beautiful stuff. This is the N64 logo. Oh, look at it. And it's got a raucous guitar over the top. Oh, how we love raucous guitars. 1998, Nintendo, push start. Come on, let's do this. This is the 3D sequel to the original F-Zero on the SNES. As you can see, we have GP Race and some options. Let's go in the options. Don't know. It's in Japanese. I bought the Japanese version. What an idiot. We've got Time Attack, we've got Death Race, we've got Versus Battle, we've got Practice. We've got 4 difficulty levels. And as you can see here from my cups, I've only completed the normal difficulties. I've not gone through the master difficulty levels. And now we're going to play the X Cup. And we're going to pick one of these cars with an appropriate BBC car setup. So that relates to things like boost, body strength and adherence to the track. Right, so we've got 30 races on the course. We hit speed pads that make us go even faster than 600 billion miles per hour. I don't know what the speed limit on this is. I'm doing 750 kilometers an hour at the moment, because we're in metric. We have an energy bar at the top. We have the amount of people in the race, where you are in the race. So we have the race leader, little portrait there on the left hand side, beautiful. And we have the amount of retries you've got, indicated by, I suppose, this sort of like Captain Falcon's ship, isn't icon form? Anyway, there's a man in the background. He's got his arms outstretched, he's spread-eagled. He's like, is it the Vitruvian Man? Anyway, he looks like he's bearing all for the races on this course, which is very strange. The X Cup is a cup of 5 or 6 races? So either 5 or 6 races, and all these races are procedurally generated in some way out of chunks somehow, probably using Space Voodoo plus coding skills. I really don't know what's going on there. But they've managed to get the N64 to generate you tracks on the fly, I'm talking about you, for your delight and delectation. Okay, first there, look. Ha! I'm going to be champion again. 2X, these tracks don't have names. The X Cup is kind of cool. The tracks it generates aren't as good as the ones that are designed, but it is fun when it comes up with some crazy ass track and all the computer controlled cars just fly off into space, leaving you by yourself to, well, just basically take it easy, do a little Sunday drive and come first. What makes F-Zero X so satisfying, and I don't think I've done it yet, is the shoulder barge move, which is double tapping the Z trigger or the shoulder button. I just did it there against the barrier, which was not a smart move. But if you time it right and you hit one of the other vehicles on the track with your shoulder barge, you will destroy them, firing them down the track in an explosion of parts. It's very satisfying. It might be the single most satisfying attacking move in any racing game where you can attack your enemies. You know, we're talking like Mario Kart with the bomb in Mario Kart Double Dash is actually really satisfying, but I think the shoulder charge is so tactile feeling, and the resulting shower of sparks and death that occurs if you time it right just makes it ultra satisfying. And the way to win this game actually is to identify your rival, which is fairly easy because they usually have the word rival written over the top of them during the race, and just shoulder charge them to oblivion. Just keep doing that to your rivals and you'll come first place, which is a bit of a design flaw, I suppose, but it does take some skill. On this car select screen you can adjust your car's parameters for acceleration and top speed. I don't really tend to do that. because you don't, on this cup, this X cup, you don't know what the tracks are going to generate with, you know, what things are going to be on the tracks. You don't know whether you can just do top speed or whether you need cornering, so it's just better off to leave it in the middle, isn't it? Whereas some of the design tracks you can kind of tweak it. So there's one specific one, I think it's the second track of the first cup. You don't need acceleration, you just need super top speed. So you change it for that track. The other cool thing about this game is the kick-ass soundtrack. So if you're a bit of a metal fan like me, or have been metal, was a metal fan back in the 90s, specifically death metal or technical death metal, hello out there, death or cynic fans, glad you're listening. I appreciated this soundtrack. This has kind of got like a thrashy death metal crossover kind of feel to it, which is music to my ears. Although, you know, the Wipeout soundtrack with its cool club kind of beats is also fine. I like all sorts of music. But I'm glad that they made a game with a proper brutal death metal style soundtrack. This bit sounds a bit like Megadeth, but other than that, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, some beautiful blast beats there. Anyway, so it's an audio delight for me, in particular. It's visually, it's okay. You get 30 cars on the screen. The cars have got some shininess to them. The tracks are okay. They're sort of slightly low detail, but the whole shebang runs at 60 frames a second on the Japanese version anyway. The PAL version probably 50 frames a second. But yeah, this NTSC version, 60 frames a second, which is super slick. You can see the LODs popping there. There's some obvious LODs on the cars, but it's to be expected. There's the rival. Blat him! Blat him now! Yeah, so it's an audio treat. Visually, it's pretty good. Not the most detailed thing in the world, but it's not horrendous. Gameplay-wise, fantastic. It's a massive upgrade over the first F-Zero, and I liked the first F-Zero, don't get me wrong. But having 30 cars on screen just in position, and you being able to hit them like a wrecking ball, yeah, they up the ante. F-Zero GX ups the visual ante, but it's got very similar sort of gameplay really. That's also a classic game on the old GameCube. Probably my favourite future racer. Like, it's kind of quite close between this one and the GameCube sequel. Shame we won't get another F-Zero, because Miyamoto's already said that we won't, because Mario Kart exists, which is annoying. So I paid around £30 English for this. It was either brand new or minty, I can't remember at the time, but it is in very, very nice condition. And now I've looked online, and for a PAL copy of this game, unboxed, you can kind of pick it up for around 13 quid if you don't mind it being covered in dog shit or jammy fingers. If you want a boxed copy, just like a out in the open air box copy, you can pay between sort of £13 and £100, and there might be a graded version out there, which, what's the point really? Why put a video game somewhere where you're never going to be able to play it? Inside some sort of plastic tomb. Yeah, you could pay up to a few £100 for that if you wanted to, if you really wanted to. So super fans only need to buy there. But if you do choose to buy this game, the NTSC is maybe the way to go if you've got the ability to play those carts because of the 60 frames per second frame rate. Look at that, that's just so satisfying to do. Oh, I've plunged to my death in a mosaic of vomit colours. That's exciting. I landed in the vomitorium below the track, where people who drive too fast to vomit over the side of the track. It's the collective vomit of over 3,000 generations of the F-Zero drivers, and I've just landed my car in it. Disgusting. You can get this on the Switch download service, I'm assuming, as it's got an N64 channel on it. It might be worth having a look on there. But, you know, the Switch emulation on there is not fantastic, is it? It's alright, it's not fantastic. It might be, actually, you might have a better resolution on this. On normal hardware, it's 640 by 480, I think. Emulation is like a 1080 thing, isn't it? Thoroughly recommended! Tip-top N64 game. If you've got an N64, you need F-ZERO X. Unless you just don't like driving games and you like, I don't know, hex-based war games or something. But if you like hex-based war games, why are you watching this video? And why did you buy an N64? You need a PC, mate, and a fucking life. Right, I don't know. Don't take that. I didn't mean that. That's just rude, isn't it? Or why would I be so rude? I don't know. Anyway, F-ZERO X. Yay! Probably going to cost you more than 13 quid if you want an actual copy. But it is worth. It is definitely worth a punt. It's a very exciting game. Very exciting game. Alright, that's me. I think I'm going to finish the X Cup here on the video, so you can watch to the end if you want. Like I said, these tracks it's generating here aren't all that complex, but it does do some crazy ass stuff on the harder difficulty levels. Alright, ta-ra!
Final round.